Hi friends, this is Manis Pandey. Welcome back to my series on UiPath Data Service. In our last video, you learned how to use delete multiple entity records activity in UiPath. You learned how to delete multiple records. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use get entity record by ID activity in UiPath Data Service. So let's get started. Here you can see UiPath Data Service and this vendor master entity selected here. You can see we have 6 records available here. Let me open UiPath Studio so that we can show you practical example. So we'll be using this get entity record by ID activity. Now what is the use of this get entity record by ID? Get entity record by ID activity helps us fetch a single record from an entity in our data service. All we need is the record ID, or you can see GUID. Get entity record by ID means it says that you can get the entity records by its ID. So it means we should have the GUID, that record ID available. Then only you can use this. The benefit of using this, we can pass the specific GUID and we can get the one record, the single record for the given record ID, and then based on that record we can get the details from that data. So let's say we are fetching the complete one record. It has the vendor ID, vendor name, address, email address, payment terms. There are multiple details. Again, this query entity records activity required here, because without that we'll not able to get the record ID. So let me first select entity, that is vendor master, and now we need to enter the record ID. So you can see here from the query entity records, I'm going to click on the filter and remove others, and now I'm saying that I want to get the records for this one where the vendor ID is V006. So I will update here V006. Now we'll have the one record in the collection. Now we'll have to get that specific record ID from that collection, and then we have to pass here. So either you have a record ID, that GUID added somewhere in the variable, then you can use that, or you have to use this query entity records activity and then get that record ID and pass it to this activity. Now we'll be taking this here assign activity, that will be writing like this. So output records of 0 dot id, right? Save. So only this expression we need to write, and this will give us the specific id. Let me change that variable name and then type. I will say record id. Let me delete it, and this will be just system.guid. Now we'll be passing this variable here, record id, right? And now we will delete this. So here by putting this record id, we'll have that complete record in the output record. Now after that, if we need to get vendor name from that, so we can do it. So let's create one variable. So we'll say output record details, something like that. Now let's see the type of variable, that is vendor master. Okay, so this was collection of vendor master, list of vendor master, and now this is just a vendor master. Now after that, let's take one here, message box. Once we retrieve the record, we can access its field, right? So we'll be passing here that message box. For example, we can show the vendor name or the email address. So we will write here output record details, right? From here we are getting the details, then dot and then it will give you the list of fields it has. So now I want to receive or get the vendor name, so we can get it here, and then further if we want to use this vendor name, we can use it here. So let's run this, and for V006 we should have the vendor name LMN Traders in the message box. So let's wait for the message box and let's verify the vendor name. So later on you want to, let's say, compare this vendor name or compare the vendor ID and do some calculation or do some deletion, something you want to do, or some other process that you want to perform. Let's say the vendor ID B06, then you want to go with some other process steps. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more UiPath tutorials. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.